Welcome back to Mostly Running Garage. Today, Holley joins the channel. Stay tuned. Today we're going to be swapping carburetors over. The reason we're going to the Holley versus the Summit is going to be, I know nothing about carbs. Absolutely nothing. Never worked with them, never done anything with them. Zilch. Nada. The Summit brand carburetor, even though it is Holley based, is one single unit. The top comes off to reach all your jets and all that stuff. The Holley brand, much more people are familiar with it. There's much more support on the internet, YouTube, forums, just talking to people. They know the Holleys more. So it's going to make it easier for me to learn how to tune carbs, by being able to grab from those resources to see how do people do things, how is it done, for me to then apply it to this charger here. So we're going to swap over to this Holley Street Avenger. Let's get this thing unboxed, get the air cleaner off, and see what we need to do to get the old Summit out. I've got our new Holley carb out on the bench and everything that came with it. There's the butterflies and everything. Very shiny, very solid. I'm very happy with it. I'm excited because there are metering blocks. I'm excited because there are metering blocks on both the primary and the secondary side. They both have it, so that means we'll be able to swap out jets on both primary and secondary. That's a very cool feature. It does come with both your air cleaner gasket and the base gasket, along with different accoutrements you're going to need in order to install said carburetor. Now that we've gone over what comes with this carb, let's get over to the car and start getting the old one off and seeing the differences between the two. That's next. Dad's playing with his boat motors. Air cleaners off. Put that to the side so we don't lose it. Put it aside so we can lose it later. We got some linkages, a couple bolts, and a fuel line holding this thing on, so we're going to go ahead and get all this off now. Leak, but not high pressure, anyway, more like 3 psi. 5, 10. There it goes. Did you plug your distributor back in? Yes. Yeah. and Summit carb off. Let's go to the bench and see what the differences are. All right, we got the Holley on the left, the Summit on the right. As you can see, the Summit, it's one piece. This top portion comes off to do your rebuilds and change your jets and whatnot. This one's got your traditional bowl style. Pop each side off to do your jets and some of your rebuild. Same electric chokes on the side. I'm hoping I'll be able to reuse this metal fuel line on the side here, but everything looks the same linkage wise, so I think we're going to be okay there, hopefully. The one difference I am seeing is there is a plug over here that isn't on the other one, but that's just, you know, bowls compared to one unit body. So yeah, so the vacuum is in a different spot because of the different styles. But aside from that, they're pretty similar. The linkage looks almost exactly the same, so I think we're going to be okay to put that back on and use the same style linkage that we had before, which is great if it works. This is a Holley based carb. It's just a one unit body instead of the bowl setup over here. So this is going to be a very similar swap, but like I said, I don't know jack diddly about carbureting tuning. There's much more help and forums and places to learn how to do this carburetor tuning on the actual Holley styles, and it's just a nicer built unit. Even though this is a Holley based, this is the OG, this is the actual Holley over here. It's going to make it a little easier to learn how to tune carburetor on. So let's go ahead and get her put her on the car. And Holley going on. Looks pretty good. Where did it go?
You can run it down, but just don't run it down tight like that if you do that. Try. Can't see it. 1, 8, and 2, the carburetor's got to be tight off the pipe. Good. Good. That's good there. Choke connected. Yep. Opening out here, so it opens out here, so I would lock that little lock nut down.
Way too big.
Yeah.
Just a vacuum lens.
it's ready to fire. It's got to fill the bowl. Pump it. Give it a couple of pumps to do that. It's leaking all over the place back here.
How tight is it leaking from the hose or the fitting?
I can't tell if it's leaking from before or if it's now. Did it have gas all over the place over here before?
I don't think so.
Fired up once.
We've got our fuel rail on over here on the passenger side. Hose is hooked up, vacuum line's on. All we got to do now is throw those throttle return springs on. See if she'll come to life. Make sure we don't have any fuel leaks, because we did actually have to go back to Holley and get this fuel rail, because ours that came off of our Summit brand was too short. And I just didn't like the doing little rubber hoses, and it was leaking everywhere. So we went and I bought the Holley. I want my fuel pressure regulator on here. So we got the fuel pipe that actually has the ability for me to put my pressure regulator on here. So let me get this, let me get those return springs on, and we'll try and fire it up and hopefully not spray gas everywhere. All right, we got throttle return spring on. I'll go ahead and try and fire this up and run over to the fuel side, the fuel rod side, to make sure it's not leaking everywhere. And hopefully I don't have to run all the way back to shut the car off, but well, there you go. Carburetor on. It ran. It's not leaking. Thank you. Very excited that it's not leaking. We had that problem last time we fired it up with this carb, but we got that all fixed with that pipe, and we did put a new gasket on the fitting behind the pipe, but it's running. It fired up. It does need tuning. It's struggling to fire up a little bit. I'm going to mess with that off camera because, like I said, I really don't know much on this. I need to do some research, do some playing and tinkering on my own. Next time we see this, I will have tinkered around a little bit, hopefully get this thing running a little better. Might bring Dad out here to help me, see if he can bestow some knowledge down upon me with this carb. But I'm going to go head inside for the night, close up shop, and come back on out tomorrow and try and get that tuned up a little better, get it running nice, and hopefully you can go for a drive. We've got the air cleaner on now. That means I've got it tuned up enough where I was able to go for a ride with it. And is it perfect? No. Will it work for the time being and while I'm still fiddling around and stuff? Yes, it will. It'll be able to, I can drive her around now. And I'm happy with how this turned out. Went much smoother than the majority of projects that we take on with this car. That's going to do it for this episode of Mostly Running Garage. We got the new carburetor on. Holley has joined the channel. Very excited to have that on there. We got more stuff coming up with this. There's always projects on here. We're going to be going to the Charlotte Car Show this weekend. Bring you along for that. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of other tinkering stuff. We got seats I'm going to be looking into, whether it's fixing the current bench inside or possibly switching to buckets. We're going to be looking at getting a new Krager of some sort, whether it's finding a used one at a swap meet or getting a new one from Summit Racing, and then shining up the rest of them to make them all look good. So we got some fun stuff coming up on the channel. Until then, get out there, work on your stuff, enjoy the car community. But that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.